Kobe McCloud. You may know the last name, is Ray Ray's younger brother there. He's a 2022 linebacker. I put down three things that I really like from his film are that he plays downhill. What I mean by that is that from his starting position, when the running back gets the ball, he is going at that ball carrier, whether it's the quarterback or the running back, with authority and velocity. Like he plays like he's running downhill. All right. So he has momentum and he uses it until he gets to his final destination, which is usually on the ground on top of a running back or quarterback. And then I put moves the line of scrimmage. You can see there's a few times where, again, he's not a skinny slot wide receiver like his older brother. He moves the line of scrimmage on a lot of his, whenever he takes on his blocks, he does hit them violently, again, as he's going downhill, gets to those blocks, pushes the running back backwards, pushes the blocking offensive lineman backwards. And so, again, more good things from him. And then good angles. He obviously has some speed. His brother is quarterback. His older brother is NFL wide receiver, punt returner. So he's got some DNA that has some speed in him. So he also you can't just be fast to be a great athlete. You have to be able to be smart and take good angles of attack when you're a linebacker. So those are my things that I think he does well. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let's get some video up of him. And let's see if I can make that. Okay, I can make it bigger. Nice. All right. So this is, again, from huddle.com that he loaded up for Kobe McCloud. And Kobe McCloud, again, is the younger brother of Ray Ray. Excuse me. I popped up a window there. But when you're looking at him, again, he plays typically the weak side, not the middle linebacker type. And then here he gets to the running back very quickly. Good wrap up and a strong, aggressive hit to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. Here is something that I love. You don't see from linebackers a lot. If you're somebody like me that's a fan of watching film, you don't see a lot of linebackers put up film of them in coverage, especially them doing any kind of interceptions or anything like that. Normally, from a linebacker, somebody that wants to be a linebacker in college, they do a lot of sacks, a lot of film of them getting sacks. To see the different types of film where he's in coverage, where he's playing to the outside, where he's holding the edge, I think that's good for him because it shows how versatile his skill set is already. Now, is he raw? Does he have some things he needs to improve on? We'll get into that. But before we get into that, Houston, tell me what you like about Kobe McCloud.
Yeah, I mean, I think athleticism-wise, absolutely one of the best that you could ask for. Now, like you said, he's a little raw. He needs to work on probably tackling. Coverage-wise, he looks good. He's just got to develop a little bit more there. But the one thing that I would like to draw like a comp to on this one would be somebody like David Dunham or B.J. Goodson. They also were kind of in a similar position that McCloud is in now, where he's not as highly rated as some of the other linebackers. Mm-hmm. But when you see them on the field, they're bound to make a big enough hit that's a literal impact. You remember B.J. Goodson, David Dunham's hit on Matt Ryan. I think Kobe McCloud could be in that same vein where he may not be a name that's easily recognizable early on, but after a couple big hits, he'll be known.
So they got him down 6'1", 208 pounds. Linebackers for Clemson, typically, we talked about this many times, they like to see him around 235. So I definitely feel like he has the build, the frame to do that. So, his height, 6'1", is right about what you're looking for, 6'2", 6'1" for a linebacker. So definitely has, again, the measurable there. Is he active and causes havoc on every single play? When you talk about film, I obviously haven't been to a full game of his. I'm not 100% sure if he's one of those players that is such an impact that he has to be accounted for every single play he's out there. But I do feel like that he is a huge contributor for his high school team. Now, is he someone that is wreaking havoc to the point of being like an all-state type guy? No, probably not. But he is definitely someone that makes himself known. If you didn't plan for him, he will go there and show you up. Can he knock running backs backwards? Yes, he can. Can he knock back offensive linemen? Yes, he can. in? Does he show good instincts and being able to track the ball well? Yes, I would say so too. Can he play the line of scrimmage? That was one thing I put unknown. I'm not sure if he can play the line of scrimmage. That's one thing I don't see as much of. Again, I see a lot of him being in coverage. I see a lot of him being on the outside, holding containment. But at 200 pounds, he's not going to be able to play. It's going to take him some time to bulk up to play the line of scrimmage at college. If he's going to be something like that. So, again, 20 pounds, 25 pounds is what he needs, which he can definitely do that. I might take him an entire season to get through it, to get that muscle built on, because you don't just want to gain 25 pounds. It needs to be good 25 pounds. Can he play in coverage? Yes, he definitely can. We see that in man coverage. We see zone coverage. Does he hit running backs going downhill? Yes. Does he have good angles? Yes, I put that as well. Another thing that I was reading in the article about linebackers is they want to see how loose they're playing. It's kind of hard to tell, if you're loose or not from film, because I feel like a lot of your film is your best film, right? And you need to highlight yourself. But it does seem like that he plays instinctually. He plays naturally. He's not stiff with his movements. He is confident with his skill set, and he knows what he can do and where he needs to be to get involved in every play. Like I said, he might not be a huge impact player on defense that is just disrupting your entire offensive game plan, but he is involved and makes himself involved in every single play, which I think is just as important. So those are some things, after looking at some of the, I did some digging on like what scouts look for. This is the NFL level, from Power 5 to NFL. So this is not necessarily from high school to NFL. So I say all those, if I say anything that is maybe nitpicky, I'm basically looking at a scout who's looking at people for the draft, so not necessarily looking at high school players who need to be developed. So forgive me on that. But let me know what you think. Let us know what you think in the comments about him. I see his film, and there's really nothing to not like about it. I know a lot of people can get in there and say, well, his last name, legacy guy, Dabo does all these things. No, I think he's going to be a contributor. I think he can definitely be a contributor. How early on, I don't know. Time will tell with it. But again, it's a guy that's going to be proud to be at Clemson, a guy who's going to give you his all. He's not going to be one that you're sitting here thinking he's got a tick sheet of his snap count. You know what I mean? You know that there are players out there, Houston, especially now, that are out there with their little tick sheet. Well, I didn't get, but 3 snaps this game. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to leave, get on the bus and go somewhere else. This guy's not going to be that. He's going to be committed to your university. He's going to be committed to Clemson specifically and the coaching staff. And he's family. So why not have more family in there, especially somebody who's talented and has those raw skills. Now, is he a 5-star guy? No. Is he all-state guy? No. But he definitely is a valued contributor on his high school team and could develop into something. And that potential there is what makes or break you, is getting something out of players for sure. Let's see what the chat says about Kobe McCloud. Let me pull it back up again here on our side. Scott says maybe work on being a little bit more smooth, but he has the build and he's quick for his size. I noticed that right off. He gets to the ball good. I agree. Bill says, I welcome Kobe McCloud. Ray was fun to watch. Kobe will be also. Scott also gets in, says he hits with raw determination, and I like his hands. The bro is quick, got wheels. Bible Belt Beauty says he will compliment Trenton Simpson. Now, Trenton's going to be an old man by the time I think he gets some seeing room. But what do you think about those comments, Houston?
No, I think a lot of that was valid. I think Trenton Simpson will probably be in the NFL by the time Kobe McCloud is seeing that playing time. But at the same time, it is. I think he's got the intangibles that you're looking for. That's the main thing. Like I said, David Dunham and B.J. Goodson weren't starters coming in, but when they got in and when they started playing more consistently, they made impacts, literal impacts. And so I think they're in a good position. I think he's going to be someone that has what you need from a youngster early on. And that's the best kind of scenario for someone coming in for a developmental type player like him.
Yeah, I like what I see, and I think that continues to push Clemson forward.